Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. Each week at this time, Kraft presents from Hollywood, California, Harold Perry as The Great Gildersleeve, written by Leonard L. Levinson. We'll hear from The Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. In the meantime, November is here again. Yes, and crisp, frosty November weather is going to make the whole family feel like working harder and playing harder, too. So now the right kind of energy food becomes more important than ever. Yes, right now it's very important that your family gets plenty of wholesome, nourishing food. Food that provides energy and vitamins, that gives you and the children the kind of nourishment everyone needs. Now, Parquet margarine, made by Kraft, is just such a food. Yes, Parquet margarine is a wholesome, highly nutritious food made from selected American farm products. Parquet is one of the best sources of food energy you can serve. What's more, Parquet margarine is a reliable source of vitamin A. Every pound contains 9,000 units of this important vitamin. Now, all this wouldn't do much good if your family didn't like Parquet margarine. Well, we're sure they will. Yes, they're bound to like Parquet's delicious flavor, whether you serve it at the table or use it for baking and pan frying. So order delicious, economical Parquet margarine tomorrow. Just ask for Parquet. P-A-R-K-A-Y. And now let's visit our friend, the Great Gildersleeve.
Leroy?
Yes, Uncle Mort?
Come in here a minute, will you? I want to... Say, how did you get that scratch on your nose? And by George, your shirt's all torn, too. What's happened to you?
Oh, I had a slight argument with a friend of mine.
A slight argument with a friend, eh? I'd hate to see you after a big fight with a stranger. Where did you two argue? Inside a cement mixer?
Nope. All the way from our backyard to Georgie Beasley's front steps.
Oh.
It was a sort of a running argument.
Yes. Now, Leroy, I disapprove of you holding knuckle debates with your little chums.
But gee, Uncle Mort, you should have heard what Georgie said.
No matter what he said, it wasn't the friendly thing to do.
Well, if you'd have heard, you'd understand why I had to bop him on the smeller.
You bop him on the smeller? Leroy, where do you pick up that kind of language?
From you. Remember Wednesday when you almost ran into that truck?
That truck almost ran into me, young man. And besides, I don't recall using those words.
It was just after the truck driver told you to go.
Leroy, never mind. Let's get back to you. Young man, you must realize that you can't keep friendships by indulging in pugilistic altercations.
What's that?
Poking people in the puss. Yeah.
Well, who wants to be friends with old Georgie Beasley anyhow?
Now, Leroy, friends are more precious than gold or diamonds. What would a man have if he didn't have any friends?
Gold or diamonds?
That's right. No! Leroy, I want you to go over to Georgie Beasley's house and apologize.
Well, not right now. His big brother is home.
Oh.
Besides, I'm not going to shake hands with him after what he said about you.
Come. Remember, sticks and stones may break... About me? What did he say?
Well, I don't like to repeat it.
But I want to know.
Now, Uncle Mort, you'd only get angry.
Yeah.
And besides, your head isn't any fatter than anybody else's.
Oh! So he called me a fathead, did he?
Yeah, how'd you find out?
Yeah. Wait till I tell his mother about this.
Oh, you won't have to do that, Uncle Mort. He was just repeating what she said.
Oh, let's drop the subject, Leroy. Only remember one thing. Friends are wonderful things to have. Because when you're over your head in debt, a friend won't let you down. And when you're up to your ears in trouble, a friend won't let you down. And when you find out you're on a limb...
A friend won't let you down then either.
Yes. Say, that reminds me. I've been meaning to look up an old friend from back home ever since I came to Summerfield.
Does he live here?
Yes, a fellow named Charlie Dapple. I'll get in touch with him right now. Hand me the phone book, will you, please?
Sure.
Thanks. Great chap, Charlie. I remember when I was first struggling to get into the girdle business. It was Charlie who helped me.
To get into girdles?
No, young man. Yes. He owned Dapple's department store at the time. He snapped up the first 10 dozen I made. Yes, he had a stretcher point to do it, too.
Did that help you?
Yes, sir. It pulled me out of a mighty tight squeeze. Let me see. Daniels, Danner, Dante. Here we are. Dapple, Charles. 147 Olive Street. Pimento 4733. That'll be good to see good old Charlie Dapple again after all these years. Yeah. Well.
Hello?
Hello? Could I speak to Charlie Dapple, please?
Well, he isn't home now. This is Mrs. Dapple.
Mrs. Dapple? Well, don't tell me that good old Charlie's married after all these years. Congratulations, Mrs. Dapple. You're a mighty lucky woman.
Thank you. That's what Charlie keeps saying. Who is this?
What was that?
Who is this?
Well, when did the big event take place?
3 years ago, Labor Day. Who is this?
Well, good old Charlie married on Labor Day. Say, I'll bet you're a redhead.
No, I'm a brunette. What made you think I was a redhead?
Well, you know how Charlie always went. No, I guess you don't.
Maybe not, but I will. Who is this?
Oh, it's an old friend from back home, Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve. Doesn't that name mean anything to you?
No.
Oh, but surely he's told you about the times we used to have together. Didn't he ever talk about Atlantic City?
No. What about Atlantic City?
Well, it's in New Jersey.
Well, he'll be home any minute, and I'll ask him all about it.
Oh, no. Let's make it a surprise.
Make what a surprise?
Well, I'm going to drop over for a visit.
Oh, but really, Mr.
Now, come, Mrs. Dapple. I haven't seen your husband for 5 years. Let's see, you live at 147 Olive, eh?
Yes, it's an apartment house. The Venus de Milo Arms.
Well, I think I can find it. I'll drop in half an hour.
Oh, but I don't know if you should come today, Mr. Silvercoat.
Gildersleeve's the name. Yeah. Now, don't fix anything special for me. Just think of me as one of the family. Goodbye. This is going to be fun surprising Charlie. He loves surprises. I'll never forget the night he sneaked a lot of his wax dummies into my office to scare me the next morning.
And did it?
It would have if our night watchman hadn't shot 6 of them. He claimed they pulled a knife on him.
Mr. Dapple sounds like a keen guy.
He is, Leroy. Good old Charlie. Come along and meet him.
Oh, but I wanted to go to a movie.
We can go afterwards. Come on.
Yes?
Mrs. Dapple?
Yes?
Well. Charlie certainly picked himself a lovely little bride.
What? Oh, you must be the man who phoned, Mr. Silversleeve.
Gildersleeve. By the way, is my old sidekick home yet?
Well, no, and I've been expecting him for an hour.
All right, Unc, let's go to that movie.
Come back here, young man. Mrs. Dapple, this is my nephew, Leroy.
Oh, how do you do?
How do you do?
Well, come right in.
Thank you.
Oh, now, don't look at this room. It's a mess.
Oh, no, it just has that lived-in look.
Well, Charlie should be home any minute now. Mm-hmm. On Saturday afternoons, he usually stops at several places on the way home. To get the football scores, you know.
Yes, I know how it is. No, not a baby. Mind if we look?
Oh, no.
Come on, Leroy. Don't you want to see the baby?
No, I just want to see the movie.
Okay, young man. No baby, no movie.
Let's see the baby.
Yeah, that's better. Well, Mrs. Dapple. What a handsome, husky child. What's his name, Charlie?
No, Gertrude.
Oh, pardon me, Gertrude. Ooh, zitty-bitty babums a zoo.
Oh, dear, you frightened her.
Maybe it's her face, Uncle Mort.
Nonsense, Leroy. Babies just love my face.
Now, Mother's little angel cake. Shush.
Yeah, shush. I know it'll quiet her, Mrs. Dapple. It's one trick that always works. I got it right here in my pocket.
Gee, Unc, are you carrying around a bottle of milk?
No. It's my watch, Leroy. Yeah. Now listen, little cupcake. You hear the tick-tick?
Oh, isn't that cute? She's holding it to her ear.
Yes. There's nothing like a piece of jewelry to stop a girl from crying.
Oh, dear me, the phone again.
Phone?
Now, let go of the gentleman's watch, darling, so I can put you down. No, now, Mother's lamb, let go. Oh, dear, she won't let go. Well, you'll just have to hold him, Mr. Gildersleeve, while I take that call.
But it's been years since I held a baby that young.
Oh, now. Don't you be afraid.
Huh?
Once you've learned, you never forget. It's like swimming.
Swimming, I'll bet it is.
Oh. Here, hold Gertrude, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, all right. Take it easy, Gertrude. Oh, well, jiggly, isn't she? Whoa, now.
I'll be back in just a minute.
You better come back now. She's getting restless. Now, see here, Gertrude. Oh, I was just kidding. Relax. Kitchy, kitchy, goo. Kitchy, kitchy, goo. Oh.
Gee, Uncle Mort, I never knew you could take care of babies.
I can't. Leroy, would you like to hold little Gertie a while?
Not me. Come on, let's ditch her and go see Hopalong Cassidy.
Yep, wait a minute. I can't get my watch and chain away from her. And now, Gertrude, you've had your little fun, so let little...
No use trying to force her, Unc.
Huh?
She'll get tired of it pretty soon and just drop the whole thing.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I see. If she drops the watch, you get the works.
Leroy, don't poke fun. Now, Gertie, let go of Uncle Throckmorton's 21-jewel nasty gold watch. That's a good girl. You see, Leroy, I got it back. Oh, now she's got a hold of my hair. Let go, Mother's little devil's food cake.
Say, she certainly is a cute kid.
Leroy, don't stand there. Do something.
Well, if I could find a pair of scissors, I could cut off that hunk of hair she's holding.
No! Ouch! Gertrude, unhand my hair.
Say, she likes you.
Yeah, she's practically drooling over me.
Well, really, Mr. Gildersleeve, what are you doing to that baby?
Madam, you better ask the baby what she's doing to me.
Oh, now, let go of the man's hair, darling. There.
Thanks. Oh, my scalp. Feels like I just lost a decision to Sitting Bull.
Now you just lie in your blanket like a good little girl while Mama runs down to the gas company.
Yes. Now?
Yes, or else I don't know what we'll ever do over the weekend. Charlie was supposed to attend to it.
But you're not going to leave us alone here with Gertrude.
Oh, she won't give you any trouble, will you, sweetheart? See?
Yes.
Well, Charlie will probably be here before I return. Oh, and in case he isn't, just heat the baby's bottle in 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Take the roast out of the oven in a quarter of an hour.
Take the roast.
Then light a fire under the soup.
Fire the soup.
And if a COD package comes, it's all right to pay for it.
But I...
And if it gets any cooler, phone down to the janitor for more heat.
Huh?
Bye.
Light a fire under the janitor. Put the COD in the oven. Phone down for the baby's bottle. Oh, my...
Supposed to fold it the other way.
Leroy, I know which way it folds. After all, I used to be a baby myself. Yeah, now don't get fidgety, Gertie. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Careful with that safety pin, Uncle Mort.
Oh, my. Why don't these things come with zippers? Yes, Mother's little leg of lamb.
You better hurry up, Uncle Mort. Gertrude's getting restless. And cold, too.
It's her own fault. She keeps kicking it off.
Well, if you can't pin it, why don't you just leave it off altogether?
No, Leroy. We've got to pin Gertrude down some way with this blanket. There we are. I wonder what makes her do that.
Maybe she's just bored with everything. When she isn't yelling, she's yawning.
Well, that's because she should be sleeping, Leroy. Possibly if I told her some little anecdote, that might put her to sleep. It always works at the Rotary Club.
Why don't you just try singing her to sleep?
That's a fine idea. Friends have told me my voice reminds them of a meadowlark singing bass.
Okay, Unc, make for the lullabies.
All right. What would you think of Asleep in the Deep? You know. Many brave hearts are asleep in the deep. Too deep. How about Rockabye Baby?
That's it. Go ahead, Uncle Mort.
All right, let me see. I think it goes, Rockabye Baby in the treetop. Yes. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. I can't remember how the rest goes.
Down will come baby, cradle and all.
Yeah, that's it. Rockabye Gertrude on the treetop.
She's going to sleep, so you better not stop.
When the bough breaks, the cradle goes lower.
You're doing swell, Unc. Sing it once more.
Rockabye, baby, let's go, Leroy. She's closing her eyes, so let's tiptoe into the other room, my boy.
let's wait here till both eyes she shuts. Look out for that pen!
Oh, nuts. Rock-a-bye, baby. Oh, what's the use? I have been singing till my tonsils are loose.
You better give up, Unc. Whatever it is that kid wants, it ain't a meadowlark that sings bass.
Yeah, I'm afraid you're right, Leroy.
Gee, if this takes much longer, we won't see those two pictures before dinner.
Leroy, if this takes much longer, we won't even see dinner. I better call home and tell your sister we'll be late. Hand me that telephone. The idea of me playing nursemaid to a baby. Fine thing.
Hello?
Oh, hello, Marjorie. Looks like Leroy and I'll be a little late for dinner tonight, my dear. We stopped in to see an old friend.
Who's that? Your old friend?
No, it's Gertrude. She's just a baby. Yes. Leroy and I are taking care of her, for Mrs. Dapple. She's out taking care of the gas. Yes, and we're even taking care of the cooking.
Oh, you, Uncle Mort, taking care of the cooking?
Yes. I was supposed to take the roast out of the oven and put the soup on the fire. But I had to put the soup in the oven because the roast was on fire.
Oh, poor Uncle Mort.
Yeah.
Have you been having much trouble with the baby?
Well, I've been singing Rock-a-Bye Baby to her, but something tells me she'd prefer there'll be some changes made.
I think I'd better come over and help you.
That's a marvelous idea. And bring Birdie, Marjorie. Maybe she can patch up the dinner I've ruined.
All right. Oh, I think I know what's wrong with that baby. It's probably hungry.
Hungry? Say, I never thought of that. Let me have a look. Oh, my goodness, that's what it must be. Marjorie, hurry over quickly.
What's wrong?
Gertrude's so hungry she's trying to swallow her foot.
Have you got that all straight now?
I think so, Mrs. Dapple. We're to shut off the gas at 147 Olive this afternoon and turn it on at 3214 Winslow. Is that right?
Correct. We're moving away from the Olive Street apartment tonight, and I don't want any slip-up.
Oh, there won't be.
Oh, now, can I change my light and water here, too?
No, the Light and Water Company's down at 10th and Spring Streets.
Oh, dear. Well, that'll take me an hour. I left someone with my baby, and I promised to be right back. Oh, well, they'll just have to wait.
Really, Marjorie, the way you've handled that baby is a revelation to me.
Yeah, you're certainly tidy with a diety.
Yeah. Where did you ever learn all that, my dear?
Oh, I took child psychology in school.
Yes, but Gertrude didn't. How did you ever two get together?
Oh, it was easy. In dealing with hysteria and psychoneurosis in the field of speculative philosophy relating to the young, the prime factor was a thorough understanding of the mental and nervous processes of the infant mind. Simple, isn't it?
Either it is or I am. Say, Leroy, how's Birdie doing?
Oh, Birdie, how's everything?
I'm doing as well as I can, considering.
Considering what, Birdie?
The cupboards.
Oh, what's wrong with the cupboards here, Birdie?
Well, from the looks of them, these folks seems to have a mighty fine assortment of nothing.
Nothing. What do you mean? Make yourself plain.
Okay, I'll speak plain, but it's gonna sound ugly. These folks has got just about enough food in their kitchen for one meal.
Do you mean that Mrs. Dapple's cupboard is empty?
Man, that cupboard couldn't be any better than if that lady's name was Hubbard.
Oh. This is terrible. I never dreamed for a moment they were destitute.
Well, what are we going to do, Uncle Mort?
Don't worry, I'll fix things up, Marjorie. Birdie, take this $10 bill down to the nearest store and buy a lot of groceries.
Yes, sir. Better make out a list.
Yes.
Some canned goods.
Oh, Uncle Mort, that's terribly sweet of you.
And some sugar.
Oh, it's nothing, my dear. I get a lump in my throat.
Lump sugar.
And a sinking feeling in my heart.
Baking soda.
When I think of what's ahead.
A head of cabbage.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It brings the tears to my eyes.
And onions.
I suppose they just gradually got into debt and couldn't...
Catch up.
That's it. They couldn't catch up. Birdie, are you still here? You better get going. Take Leroy along to help you carry the bundle.
Okay, Uncle Mort.
Hurry out the back way. I'll bet that's my old pal now. And will I clap hands if here comes Charlie?
Now, see here, Dapple. We've exhausted our patience with you. Why do you ignore our letters? Why do you hang up when we telephone? Why don't you be a man and make your payments on that piano like you promised?
No, see here, mister. I'm not Dapple. But by George, if I was and you used that tone, I'd cuff you around till you'd crawl back into the woodwork.
Oh, yeah? Well, if you're not Dapple, what do you care how I talk to him, you big blimp?
Oop! He's my friend, and you can't abuse an absent friend in my presence, especially if he isn't here.
Uncle Mort, not so loud.
Huh? Oh, that's right. Not so loud, mister. If you want to fight, just step inside.
Okay. But this time when I leave, I'm taking that piano with me.
Over my dead body.
That makes it even more attractive.
Oh. One more crack like that, and I'll shove that swollen zither down your noisy throat. Now, you take your hat off and state your business before I forget my manners and bop you on the smeller.
Now, take it easy, Tubbsy.
Whoop!
My name is Baxter of the Summerfield Washing Machine and Piano Company. Now, this fellow Dapple has been buying this piano from us on the installment plan, only he ain't kept up his payments.
Well, I happen to know that Mr. Dapple has been up against it pretty badly lately. Couldn't you just kind of forget the payments this month?
Forget it? How can I? I've got a memory like an elephant.
Yeah, and a hide like one, too. All right, then. How much is the payment? I'll give it to you myself.
No, you won't. According to our contract, once a payment is defaulted, the entire remaining balance becomes automatically due.
Oh, my goodness. How much does he still owe on it?
Now, let's see. I've got it right here. It's $74.
$74 more? Why, that mahogany monstrosity over there was never worth that in the first place.
Either I get the money or else the piano.
Yes, I think you mean it. Well, Charlie Dapple helped me up when I was getting started, so I can't let him down when he's just about finished. I'll write you a check for the $74. Let's see. That'll leave me with a balance of 28 cents. Yeah, now there's somebody at the back door. I better go see. I'm coming, you blasted woodpecker.
Excuse me, I'm the gas man.
Don't want any. I got enough gas.
I come to shut it off.
Shut it off? Didn't Mrs. Dapple call at your office this afternoon, probably to pay the bill?
Look, brother, I'm a guy who sticks strictly to his own job.
Yeah.
I got an order saying turn off gas at Dapple Apartment 147 Olive Street. And that's what I'm going to do, brother.
Yeah. Well, let's not be too hasty about this, brother. Suppose I pay the bill to you right now.
No, I ain't allowed to take no money. You don't understand, brother. I'm just the guy who gets orders to turn gas on and to turn it off.
Yeah.
Then I go where it says, and I turn gas on, or else I turn it off. That's all I do.
Oh, sounds mighty monotonous.
I like being monotonous.
Yeah. Look here, brother. By the way, what's your name?
Herman Peebles.
Herman Peebles. Look here, Hermie. Peebles live here, too. Simple Peebles. Kindly Peebles. The salt of the earth. Things have been a little tough for him lately. And there's another mouth to feed, too.
You mean?
Yes, that's what I mean. A tiny baby named Little Gertrude. You think what it would mean to poor little Gertrude if she didn't have any gas. No hot milk. No hot water. No hot air.
It's tough.
Yes. Winter is approaching, too, Hermie. Need I say more?
No. Don't worry, mister. I'm not going to shut off the gas here today.
You're not?
No, I just can't.
Well, I'm certainly glad I convinced you.
Wasn't you, mister. Just remembered I left my tools at the office.
Just as soon as a dapple shows its nose through that door.
I done cooked this rib roast so long it's done shrunk down to the size of a lamb chop.
Well, personally, I wouldn't mind staying all evening, only I've got a previous engagement.
It's them. I'll get the door.
We come for the furniture. To take it away.
This is the last straw.
Don't let them do this to little Gertrude, Unc.
You're right, Leroy. You men can't do this to a poor little helpless baby.
We ain't doing nothing to no baby. Take the other end of this sofa, Terry. I got it. Now, get out of the way, mister.
By George, they're not going to get away with this.
Uncle, put down that vase.
I was just trying to help the men out there.
Don't do us no favors. We'll help ourselves out. Careful coming out that door, Terry. Okay.
Quick, Leroy, lock the door. Now we got to figure out some way to prevent them from stripping the apartment.
Mr. Gildersleeve,
Huh?
a lady just come in the back way and says she's Miss Dapple. Here she comes now.
Oh, at last.
Oh, thank you ever so much, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes. That's all right. Where's Charlie?
Well, I can't imagine. Unless he's... Oh, of course.
Huh?
This was his Saturday to work late at the office. But he'll be here any minute now. That is, if he comes straight home.
He better come straight home. There are a couple of men roaming around trying to repossess your furniture.
Repossess our furniture? Well, I can't imagine... Oh, why, you must mean the moving men.
Yeah, they're moving men. They're trying to move everything you got right out of here.
Well, of course. We're moving over to Winslow Avenue today.
Oh, my goodness. How can Charlie do this to me? And what about the piano? The collector tried to take it away, but I stopped him.
Well, you should have let him have it.
Huh?
We just played it to break our lease here.
It's your lease in my pocketbook, madam.
Well, we better hurry up and get ready to leave. Oh, did the men come to turn off the gas?
Yeah, and you should have seen Unc turn on the tears.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's my husband now.
Yeah?
There's something about the way he knocks that I can always recognize.
Oh, at last. Mrs. Dapple, I've been waiting for this moment all afternoon. Do you mind if I hide in the dining room, and then when good old Charlie comes in, I'll jump out and yell surprise? Please, that's all I have left.
Well, that'll be cute. All right, go right ahead.
Leroy, Marjorie, Birdie, I want you to get in on this.
Okay.
Come on, let's hide.
Hello, Charlie, darling.
Oh, yeah, sweetheart. What's the idea of keeping the door locked?
Well, I don't know. In fact, I don't know half of what's been going on around here. Oh, but come into the living room, dear. There's a little surprise for you.
Surprise? What do you mean? Where's the surprise?
Oh, boy, surprise, Charlie, surprise. Yeah, where's Charlie?
I'm Charlie. Who in thunder are you?
Oh, my goodness.
Gee, Unc, what's the matter?
It's that man. I never saw him before. He's the wrong Charlie Dapple.
The great Gildersleeve will be with us again in a few minutes. But first, I wonder why I always talk to the ladies in our audience, because after all, some of us men aren't such bad cooks. Why, I can fry a wonderful egg. I can even make pretty good biscuits. So really, we men should know about delicious Parquet margarine, too. So this is for men only. Next time you men feel like whipping up a batch of biscuits, use Parquet margarine, made by Kraft. You see, Parquet margarine is a real flavor shortening. It adds flavor to all baked foods. So no wonder the wife's cookies and cakes taste better when made with Parquet. And if you like pan-fried foods, you'll find they're tastier, too, when you use Parquet margarine. And you don't have to worry about Parquet spattering or sticking to the pan. Of course, you'll want to use Parquet margarine at the table, for you'll like its delicate, appetizing flavor. Now, maybe you men aren't as interested in nutrition as the women are, but you should know that Parquet margarine is a nourishing energy food that contains vitamin A. So, men, if you can't find Parquet margarine at home, buy a pound or two tomorrow. You'll be pleased to learn that it's mighty economical, too. Just ask the dealer for Parquet. P-A-R-K-A-Y.
Yes, now, just a second till I find my key, children.
Oh, I'm tired.
Yes.
Hey, somebody put a note under the door. It's for you, Uncle Mort.
Well, note, eh? I wonder who it's from. Dear pal Throcky, George Fitty just told me you were in town, so I dropped over to see you. Sorry I missed you. Your old pal and sidekick, Charlie Dapple. Good night.
Original music heard on this program was composed and conducted by William Randolph. This is Jim Bannon speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company and inviting you to be with us again next week at this same time for the further adventures of the great Gildersleeve. This is the National Broadcasting Company. Kraft presents the great Gildersleeve. Each week at this time, Kraft presents from Hollywood, California, Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve, written by Leonard L. Levinson. We'll hear from the Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. But first, we might say that one good thing at least has come out of the world crisis, and that is that we Americans have learned that the right kind of food, and plenty of it, is vitally essential to national health and morale. And realizing this, we Americans can become the strongest nation on earth. That's why you homemakers should know about delicious parquet margarine, made by Kraft. Because parquet margarine is an economical source of nourishment and energy your whole family needs. Yes, parquet margarine is a highly nutritious food, one of the best energy foods you can serve. And equally important is the fact that every pound of parquet contains 9,000 units of vitamin A. What's more, your whole family will like parquet margarine's delicate, appetizing flavor. Yes, delicious parquet margarine makes everything taste better, whether you serve it at the table or use it for baking or pan frying. So try this nourishing, economical food. Buy a pound or two of grand-tasting parquet margarine tomorrow. Just ask your dealer for parquet, Parkay. And now let's visit our friend, the Great Gildersleeve.
Hello. Where is everybody? Oh, there you are, Marjorie.
Oh, hello, Uncle Throckmorton. Did you bring the things I wanted for dinner?
Yes, here's the flowers, the after-dinner mints, and the candles for the cake.
I hope this wasn't too much trouble.
Not at all, my dear. The market was so crowded I just drifted with the tide. That's how I happened to get this quart of clams. Yeah.
How many of these candles do you think we should put on Judge Hooker's birthday cake, Uncle?
Well, I don't know. How many cakes did Birdie bake?
Oh, now, Uncle, I don't think it'd be polite to put on more than 30.
Well, if that's all the candles you're going to use, you better burn them at both ends, then.
I don't think he's that old.
No? Say, he's got a Lincoln penny that he got from Lincoln.
Uncle Mort, I do wish you'd make an effort to get along better with the judge, especially tonight at dinner.
Well, seeing that it's his birthday, I'll give him a break.
You will?
Yes. I won't insult him until he insults me first.
Say, do you think he's going to be surprised when he finds out we know it's his birthday?
Oh, he'll be dumbfounded. He's got a good start, too. He's been dumb ever since he was founded.
Uncle.
Huh?
Now, Judge Hooker's really awfully sweet.
Well, it doesn't show on his face, then. Why, George, if I had a puss that sour, I'd take it out and drown it. Say, something smells mighty nice around here.
Oh, it's a dinner Birdie's fixing.
Oh.
And is it going to be delicious?
You know, that Birdie is a real treasure. Her dinners are always delicious. The only trouble is I'm beginning to develop what is known as second helping spread.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, my laps are starting to overlap.
Now, don't talk that way, Uncle Mort.
Huh?
You're just the right weight for a man of your, weight.
Yeah. Well, maybe so. Everything's expanding these days.
Oh, by the way, Oliver Honeywell's coming to dinner, too.
What? Oliver again? Seems that every time we sit down to eat, there's that overgrown St. Bernard puppy yapping around the table.
Well, his family's out of town, and Oliver doesn't like restaurants.
Of course not. They charge for meals. You know, I don't like to appear inhospitable, Marjorie, but I'm beginning to get bored with Oliver as a boarder.
Well, his family will be back by Thanksgiving. Say, by the way, when is Thanksgiving?
Anytime Oliver's family comes back. Another thing, Marjorie, can't you persuade him to get a haircut?
Oh, well, he says the barber shops frighten him.
Huh?
He cuts his own hair when it gets long enough for him to reach.
Well, somebody should drop a hint that it's time for the fall harvest. Or else buy him a paper of booby pins.
Uncle, you mean bobby pins.
You heard me, Marjorie. Oh, let me see. Have we forgotten anything?
Oh, I don't think so. Let me see now. Dinner, presents.
Yeah. Oh, I ordered a cute singing telegram delivered at 10 p.m.
Oh. Say, what time what time did you tell the judge to be here?
Well, I said that, oh, my goodness. Where's my hat?
It's right in your hand. What's wrong?
I forgot to invite somebody.
Who?
Judge Hooker.
Hey, Marge, here comes Seabiscuit.
Why, Leroy, what do you mean?
Oh, hello, Oliver.
Oh, Midgie Widgie. Gee, you look lovely this evening. How do I look?
Gee, you look lovely, too, Oliver.
Hello, Meatball.
Hi, Oliver. How's all your allergics tonight? Leroy, now be more polite. You mustn't make fun of me.
Here's Judge Hooker, Marjorie.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Dinner will be ready very soon now, Judge.
Really, Marjorie, you folks shouldn't have gone to all this trouble.
No trouble at all, Judge Hooker. We had to eat anyway. By the way, Judge, do you know Oliver Honeywell?
You mean that anemic young calf that hangs around, Marjorie? I've heard about him, but I've never seen him.
Well, take a good look. This is him right here.
Oh, what? Oh, say, don't mind me. I'm always kidding, Oliver.
That's the trouble. Everybody's always kidding Oliver.
No. My boy, you mustn't get bitter. Say, why is your ear all bandaged up?
Huh? Oh, I did this afternoon when I was giving myself a haircut.
You mean to say you cut your own hair?
Yeah, I do it with mirrors.
But what happened this afternoon? Did the bowl slip?
No, I was using manicure scissors. I guess I didn't allow for the curve.
Well, your hair looks very pretty with the scalloped edges. Oh, excuse me.
Sure.
Come in.
I'm from the telegraph company.
Oh, for goodness sakes, you're too early, boy. Later.
Yeah, but I got a message.
Come back at 10 o'clock now. Beat it before you spoil everything.
Yeah, but...
Wrong address, folks.
Sam, can I give it to him now?
What? Oh, the present for the judge? Why, sure. Let's all give him his present now.
Happy birthday,
Judge Hooker.
For me? Now, I wonder what's inside.
Listen to him. You'd think he was a sweet 16 instead of a sour 60. Go on, unwrap him, Judge.
All right, I will. Thank you.
Oh, he's opening yours first, sis.
Yeah.
I hope you like it, Judge.
I'm sure I will. Well, what do you think? A necktie.
Well.
Just what I need. Thank you, Marjorie. Now, let's look at the next one. With all best wishes from Oliver Honeywell. Well, Honeywell.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have done this.
Oh.
Gee, another necktie.
Yeah, isn't it nice? A yellow one with green polka dots.
You know, I got one just like that for Christmas last year.
And I'll bet that's it.
Well, let's see about this one. Although it is not Christmas Eve, here's a present you will receive from your old friend, Throckmorton Gildersleeve.
Yeah. Catch on? It's a poem, Judge.
Another necktie. Purple this time.
Yeah. Just matches your complexion, Judge.
Thank you. I wonder what's in this package. It's from Leroy, I see.
One guess, Judge Hooker. It's a necktie, all right, but this one's different. It's got a picture of Superman on it.
Yeah. Well, now that the necktie party's over, let's trot into the dining room. Judge, Birdie's fixed a special new dish in your honor.
Is that so? I'm flattered.
I thought you would be.
What do you call it, Gildy?
Calf's brains a la Judge Hooker.
No, thanks. No more. My, that certainly was a delicious cake, and beautiful, too.
Yes. With all those candles lit up, we had enough heat to bake another cake.
Have your fun, Gildersleeve. I'm so full of wonderful food, I don't mind. Oh, that was a marvelous meal. I wish I had a cook like your Birdie.
Well, what happened to your cook, Judge?
I let her go when I found out after fixing dinner for me, she'd go out and have her dinner in a restaurant.
Oh, excuse me. I wonder who that can be. Yes?
I'm from the telegraph company.
Not now, I said. Come back at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, but I got a date at 10 o'clock.
Break it.
What was it, Gildy, old man?
Nothing at all, Judgy. Just a boy out looking for the wrong house.
Say, if you don't mind, I'm going into the kitchen and thank Birdie for that wonderful dinner.
Oh, well, don't overpraise her, Judge.
I won't.
Remember, too many compliments spoil the cook.
That's true.
Something I can do for you, Your Honor?
No, Birdie, I just wanted to tell you that dinner you just served was an Epicurean collation.
Is that considered good?
I didn't think it was good. I thought it was a gastronomic achievement.
Oh, you didn't like it.
I did, too. And I consider myself a pretty good judge.
And so do I, and I'll be glad to vote for you. When's the election?
Next spring. No, I mean judge of cooking. Wish you were working for me, Birdie. That Gildersleeve is a mighty lucky dog, but he doesn't really appreciate you.
He don't?
But look at the way he makes you wash those dishes, getting your hands all chapped and red.
Well, man, them's rubber gloves.
Well, the least he could do is to buy you a nice electrical dishwashing machine. I've got one in my kitchen. say, you'd have a lot of fun operating it.
Well, I don't know. I may be old-fashioned, but I prefer to dunk the dishes in water instead of electrocuting them.
Great sense of humor you have there, Birdie. By the way, did I ever tell you about the fine big maid's room in my house?
No, sir. Is it pretty?
Is it? It's got everything but Rochester.
Certainly sounds like the elephant's earrings to me.
Yes, and of course, I'm not home more than 3-4 nights a week, so that means my cook has plenty of days off and very little to do. What do you think, Birdie?
Well, I think you're going to make some gal a wonderful employer.
Well, you don't understand. I want you as my cook.
Me? But I've already got a position.
But think what it would mean to your social position among your friends if you were to cook for Horace Hooker.
Yes, sir. That certainly would impress the other members of the mysterious and bewildering orders of the Daughters of Cleopatra, which I is the head sphinx. But, of course, I just couldn't do it.
Why not? Has Gildersleeve got you under contract?
No, sir. I'm here strictly on a meal-to-meal basis.
Well, then, where no contractual entailment exists between principal and agent at the time of severance of service, notice of termination is not required, ipso facto.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, that's common law.
Oh, it happens often, huh?
Well, yes. Say, after you've left Gildersleeve and come to work for me, you wish that you had left old Stupid over...
Old Stupid over what, Judge?
Well, that is, I was saying to Birdie that it must be hard working all stupid over a hot stove.
Oh, yeah. I see. Well, come on back in the living room. The kids want to play pin the tail on the donkey, and you're going to be the Democrat.
All right, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Bye, Birdie, and don't forget what I said.
You mean about the ipso facto?
Yes, yes. And the quicker you ipso, the sooner it'll be a facto. Come on, Gildy, old pal. Let's go in the other room.
Yeah, all right, Judge. Here he is. Well, children, what shall we do?
Well, I think it'd be just dandy if we played Drop the Kleenex. Huh?
Oliver, don't you mean drop the handkerchief?
Oh, I figured that the other'd be more sanitary.
Yes.
How about musical chairs or something like that?
Well, I bet I know who that is. Come in.
Mister, this is positively my final appearance. Here's a telegram for you.
It's not for me. It's for this gray-haired gentleman right here.
Oh.
No. Don't hand it to him. No? It's supposed to be opened and sung.
Oh, but I don't think...
You're not paid to think. You're paid to sing. Now, break in the song, young man.
Well, okay, but remember, you asked for it. Me.
Yes, you.
Me. Mr. Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, I'm an awful bad jam. Can you send me $50 to bail me out? Signed, your brother-in-law, Sam.
What? Old telegram. Get out of here.
Gildersleeve residence.
Good morning, Birdie. This is Judge Hooker. How are you this bright and sunny morning?
Dull and cloudy. I was up all night trying to decide between remaining where I is with the status quo or packing up and moving over to the ipso facto.
I just telephoned to tell you that whatever your salary is now, I'll better it for $10 a month.
$10 a month? Judge, you done just hired yourself a cook.
Fine. How soon can you come to work?
Well, that depends on how soon they let me go.
Well, cook up some excuse to leave quick. Bye.
That's going to take a mess of doing. Oh, nobody knows the trouble I'm getting into.
Oh, Birdie, is breakfast ready?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Birdie. You better set another place, Birdie. Oliver invited himself over for breakfast again.
More people to feed. Just working myself to a shadow.
Now, Birdie, can I help it if that biological blunder... come right in, Oliver.
Thanks. Morning, Bert. Oh, prunes again, huh?
Don't you like the way I fix breakfast?
Of course he does. Oliver, never wrinkle up your nose at a prune.
Morning, everybody. You too, Oliver. Say, what is this? Prunes again?
Now, if you don't like it...
Yes. Leroy, sit down and pass the toast.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. Where's Marjorie? Isn't she... Oh, darn this toast.
What's wrong with that toast?
It just went down the wrong way.
Oh, you don't like it. And after I work my fingers to the bone, straighten it off for you.
But all I said was... wrong way.
Oh, now I'm doing things the wrong way. Teach teaching me my business. I'm tired of not being appreciated around here. I was resigning. There's other people who like my cookery.
Well, Birdie seems to be a little twittery this morning.
Gee, she never acted this way before.
And you think she means that about resigning?
Say, I better find out what's wrong. And now, Birdie, I don't understand what... Birdie, where are you? Oh, Birdie! Oh, Birdie!
Oh, Birdie!
Oh, Birdie!
Oh, my goodness, Birdie has flown the coop. Come. Wake up, Leroy. It's time to go to school, young man.
Just give me another 15 minutes, Birdie.
This isn't Birdie. It's Uncle Mort. I just haven't shaved yet.
Oh. Hi, Unc. Where's Birdie? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wake up, young man. Look at the clock. Do you want to be tardy?
It's okay with me.
Come on, Leroy. Wake up. Oliver's fixing some nice hot mush for breakfast.
Lord, just let me sleep 10 minutes more.
I can't, Leroy. By George, I'm going to pull the covers off of you.
Oh, no, don't do that. I'll get up.
Yeah.
Say, where's Marjorie?
She's downtown interviewing cooks at employment agency.
Help me quick.
Oh, Oliver's in trouble in the kitchen. Get up, Leroy. Coming, Oliver. Yes. Now, what's the trouble?
Well, it's the mush I'm fixing for breakfast. It keeps overflowing. I filled 4 pots already. Now I need another one.
Oh. Well, here's a double boiler, Oliver. Now keep stirring or it'll start burning.
Gee whiz, I never knew mush multiplied like this. Just seems to go on and on and on.
It's a morning cereal, isn't it? Oh, jumping jelly beans. What is it now? Oh, good morning, mailman.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Gildersleeve. I've got a postage due letter here. It's 3 cents, please.
Surely. 3 cents. Here you are.
Oh, thank you.
Say, this letter is for Birdie Lee Coggins. She doesn't work here anymore.
Oh, yes, that's your cook. Say, I've got a change of address for her. Better give me that letter back.
Certainly. Oh, by the way, what is her new address, if it isn't violating any professional secret?
Oh, it's 2100 Burnside.
It's 2100 Burnside. Thank you very much. 21... That address sounds familiar to me. Where have I heard it before? 2100 Burnside. Why, of course. Leroy!
Yeah?
Oliver! I know who hired Birdie away from us.
You do?
Yes, I should have guessed it before. It was the judge.
No!
Yes, that crook of a hooker hooked our cook. Wait till I lay my hands on him. He stole our Birdie, the horse thief. At last, hooker, I finally tracked you down.
What do you mean, track me down? I'm always in my chambers this time of day. What do you want with me?
Why, you oily worm, you got our Birdie. We want her back.
Nothing doing. Now get out.
Oh, that does it. I'm going to create a vacancy on the Superior Court bench.
So put down those bookends.
I will not. Stand still, you old goat, so I can hit you.
Now stay where you are, Gildersleeve, or I'll press this buzzer.
I won't stay where I am. I'm going to knock you. What happens when you press the buzzer?
My bailiff will come in and drag you down to jail.
Yeah, it's a frame-up. That's what it is. First you steal my cook, then you upset our whole household, and now you're going to railroad me to the caboose.
Uh-huh. So the big balloon's losing all its hot air. Your threats didn't work, Gildersleeve. You're a beaten man.
You don't have to rub it in, you judicial Judas. I know when I'm licked. We can't find anybody to do Birdie's work. We can't find where she puts anything. We haven't had a decent meal since she left.
You haven't? Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to be too hard on you. So, if you promise to behave yourself, maybe I'll invite you over to the house for dinner sometime.
I wouldn't sit down at the same table and eat a meal with you, hooker, if I were starving. What am I talking about? If I were starving, I am starving.
I knew that your stomach was bigger than your stubbornness. You can come to dinner tomorrow night if you want to.
I don't want to. I wouldn't humiliate myself to the extent of what time tomorrow night?
7 o'clock. And don't forget to bring Marjorie and Leroy.
Of course I won't forget. But that's the only reason I'm coming. I'm just doing it for the kiddies.
Now remember, Uncle Mort, if this scheme is to work, you've got to keep a tight control over your temper.
Who, me? I never lose my temper.
And Leroy, now, don't overdo the business of being sassy.
Oh, don't worry, sis. I'm a born actor.
Well, I guess we're all ready. Gee, we surely look like tramps, don't we?
Yeah.
Well, go ahead and ring the bell, Uncle.
Yeah, all right.
Now, on your guard, everybody. Here she comes.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Miss Morris. Hello. Hello, Leroy.
Hello, Birdie.
Good evening, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, good evening.
Won't y'all kindly come in and rest your hats and coats? They look kind of tired.
Oh. Yes, of course. Come on in, children.
Well, come right in.
Oh, hello, Judge Hooker. So sweet of you to invite us. You have no idea how we're going to enjoy this.
Hiya, Hooker. How's the cooker?
Leroy, don't you toss that away.
Oh, hooey-fooey. You can't boss me anymore, Birdie.
Leroy, behave yourself. Oh, I just can't imagine what's gotten into you lately. You used to be such a little gentleman.
Oh, who wants to be a gentleman? I'm going to be a heavyweight prize fighter and true to backer.
You ain't gonna be no prize fighter long if somebody hits you smack on that chew of tobacco. And look at your hair. Somebody must have been trimming it with hedge clippers.
Nope. Oliver showed me how to cut it all by myself.
You never did these farmadiddles when I was there. Why,
Birdie, isn't dinner ready?
yes, sir. Well, when you needed a
Then
haircut,
serve the first course, please.
it's sitting on the table.
Oh, shall we go in now?
Yes, sir. Come on, Leroy. Come on, Marjorie. I'm starved to death.
Yes. Well, how do you think everything looks?
Oh, just splendid. Except for Birdie.
What's wrong with Birdie?
Well, I think she must be worrying. She's got dark circles under her eyes.
Nonsense. Incidentally, you shouldn't talk coming here without a shave.
Oh, yes, that reminds me. Birdie, where did you hide my good razor? I've looked high and low for it.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Gildersleeve. It's out on the back porch. I used to carry it with me when I went out in the backyard at night. Sort of discourage, late visitors.
Birdie, isn't it time to bring the soup?
It's right here. Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, I fixed a special turtle soup for you. I know it's your favorite.
Well, thank you. It's a darn expensive to make. We don't have it very often. But I'll come over here every day if you'll cook it for me, Birdie.
Oh, I'll be glad. But,
Splendid. You mind if I bring over Oliver? He just loves turtle soup, Birdie.
Uh-huh. Well, you're invited, Gildy.
Yeah.
Boy, this soup is super.
No matter how you like it, Leroy, you just eat it. Don't kiss it.
Leroy isn't your responsibility anymore, Birdie.
Yes, the judge is right, Birdie.
But I know how to handle him. You just send him over here.
Birdie, pay attention to your work.
That's just what I'm doing. Oh, Miss March, that bandage. You done cut your finger.
No, Birdie, I burned it. Well, ironing.
Oh, honey, how many times have I told you you ain't got no knack for ironing?
Somebody's got to do it. And we haven't found anyone else. Yes.
Then I'll come over tomorrow afternoon and do it for you.
Now, wait a minute, Birdie. You're working for me. You can't do that.
Oh, yes, I can. I got 3 afternoons off every week, and if I want to spend them ironing for Miss Marge, nothing in the world can stop me. Ipso facto, habeas corpus, or post-mortem.
I tell you, I won't stand for it. As long as you're working for me, you can't spend all your time straightening out Gildersleeve's messes.
By George, I can straighten out my own messes, you little...
Oh, Uncle, remember now, you mustn't.
Oh, yes. Excuse me, Judgy. What were you saying?
I was just telling Birdie to quit acting like one of your family.
Well, I've been a member of that family so long, I just can't up and quit all at once.
Don't be foolish. Here you have all the extra time in the world.
That's just the trouble. Nobody to cook for, except one dyspeptic that eats itty-bitty damn. There's no big parties with lots of work like over at Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, I must say that is what...
And when I see that Leroy, who I practically raised myself, acting so fresh because he needs a guiding hand to slap him down once in a while, well, I just don't like this job, Judge. And if I thought Miss Marge would have me back again, I'd go right upstairs and pack my bag.
What? Why, you ungrateful...
Birdie, we'd be very happy to have you come back.
Okay, I was resigning, Judge.
But you can't do that. You haven't given me any notice.
I don't need to. Where there's no contractual entailment exists between the principal and the agent at the time of severance of service, notice of termination is not required. Ipso facto.
Oh, what's the use?
I'll get my things, and I'll be waiting out in the car when y'all get ready. Goodbye, Judge.
Bye. Oh, it's a fine mess. And I have a sneaking suspicion regarding how it all came about, too.
Why, Judgy, what are you hinting at?
Never mind. Oh, whatever are we going to do about this dinner?
Well, if you want to come over to our house, our Birdie will be glad to fix us up some ham and eggs, John.
No, thanks. You sneak in the grass.
Look who's calling who, a what, and a where. Come on, children. I won't let you remain in this atmosphere a moment longer.
That suits me fine.
But there's just one thing I've got to do before I go, Hooker.
Let go of me. Get off of me. Help. He's choking me to death.
What?
Uncle, don't choke him. Now, you must.
I'm not choking the little pipsqueak. I'm just taking back the necktie I gave him for his birthday. Come on, children.
Did I do my part all right, Uncle?
Oh, you were perfect, my boy. You were a regular dead-end kid.
Oh, this bandage on my finger bothers me. Can I take it off now?
No. Keep it on for at least another day or so, Marjorie. Or else Birdie might get wise that this was all a put-up. Ah, Birdie, there you are.
Yes, sir, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Are you all ready to come home with us now, Birdie?
Yes, sir. That was mighty cute the way y'all pretended things was wrong at home. Of course, it didn't fool me a bit.
What? We didn't? Oh, my goodness.
The great Gildersleeve will be with us again in a few minutes. But right now, do you grown-ups listening and remember the good old cookie jar? Yes, and what a treat it was to come home after school and fill up on those wonderful cookies Mother used to make. Well, the cookie jar is an American institution. Every family with youngsters certainly ought to have one. And for making better-tasting cookies to put in the jar, let me tell you about Parquet margarine, made by Kraft. You see, because Parquet margarine is so delicious for table use, it makes better-tasting cookies, too. Yes, Parquet margarine is a genuine flavor shortening, not bland and tasteless. Parquet adds flavor to all baked foods. That goes for cakes and pastries, too. And for the same reason, Parquet margarine makes pan-fried foods tastier, too, and it doesn't spatter or stick to the pan. Another thing, whether you serve Parquet margarine at the table or use it for baking and pan frying, it's a nourishing, wholesome energy food and a reliable winter and summer source of vitamin A. Now, for all these reasons, you should keep plenty of economical Parquet margarine on hand. So tomorrow, ask your dealer for Parquet, Parkay.
Oh, my, it sure is good to be back in my own kitchen again.
Well, we're glad to have you back, Birdie.
Well, there's one thing that sure was a surprise.
Well, what's that?
I expected to find a sink piled high with dirty dishes and ain't a single one.
No, we've been using paper plates.
Yeah, we broke all the dishes.
Yes. Good night.
Original music heard on this program was composed and conducted by William Randolph. This is Jim Bannon speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company and inviting you to be with us again next week at this same time for the further adventures of the great Gildersleeve. And reminding you that America's first line of defense is you and your support. So invest to the best of your ability in defense savings bonds. Good night. This is the National Broadcasting Company. Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. Each week at this time from Hollywood, California, Kraft presents Harold Terry as The Great Gildersleeve, written by Leonard L. Levinson. We'll hear from the great Gildersleeve in just a moment. But first, remember the saying, an army marches on its stomach? Well, nowadays, battles are won not by armies alone, but by entire populations. For total defense, we all must have plenty of the right kind of food. That means wholesome, nourishing food. Food that produces the energy we use up in hard work and play. That's why Parquet margarine, the quality margarine made by Kraft, should be an important item on your shopping list. Because Parquet margarine is an economical source of important food elements we all need. Parquet margarine not only has delicious flavor that makes it a favorite for table use, baking, and pan frying, Parquet margarine is a highly nutritious food, one of the best energy foods you can serve. What's more, every pound of Parquet contains 9,000 units of important vitamin A. So why not give your family the benefits of this wholesome, nourishing food and start serving them Parquet margarine now? They'll like its flavor. You'll know it's good for them. So tomorrow, ask your dealer for Parquet, Parkay. And now let's visit our friend, the great Gildersleeve.
Well, my goodness, Birdie, the ashtrays are all empty for once. What is this, some special occasion?
For me it is, Mr. Gildersleeve. I'd like to have the evening off.
Oh, is this your night to leave early?
No, sir, but I'd sort of like to get an advance on next week's night off.
Oh, any reason why not, Marjorie?
Oh, not at all. Go ahead, Birdie.
Thanks. I wouldn't ask, only we've got spectacular things tonight down at our lodge.
Oh.
That's the mysterious and bewildering orders of the daughters of Cleopatra.
Yeah, our Birdie's the head sphinx.
Not no more, Leroy. I'm now the exhausted ruler of the pyramid. I've been promoted.
Yeah, I see. Does that make you the head man?
No, sir. I'm practically a stowaway on the royal barge of the ancient Nile.
Yes.
And ahead of me comes the major domus of the outer chamber of the inner sanctum.
Yeah.
Then the chief searcher in the bulrushes for the daughters of Pharaoh.
Oh, yeah.
And above her comes the royal rejecter of delinquent daughters.
Yes. Well, isn't there a queen, Birdie?
Mr. Gildersleeve, in our organization, every gal's a queen.
Oh, my pardon.
Oh, what are you holding tonight, Birdie? An initiation?
No, ma'am. It's the red, white, and blue fish fry in order of, to honor a group of our visiting soldier boys.
Oh, yeah.
The daughters of Cleopatra is all 100% Americans.
Well, that's a fine thing, Birdie, entertaining your soldier friends.
Yes, sir. We've even hired a military jitterbug band. The brown-skinned boogie-woogie bugle boys.
Well, go right ahead. And if you want to take anything from the pantry for the fish fry, help yourself, Birdie.
Yes.
You may want to broil a couple of cans of sardines.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
Say, Unc, you know something?
Leroy, I wish you wouldn't keep using that expression. Of course I know something. But what is it?
Well, I was reading in the paper where there's going to be about 1,000 soldiers in Summerfield over Thanksgiving.
Yes?
Well, let me see. Yeah, here it is.
Well, City will play host to 32nd Regiment Thursday. USO urges all citizens to invite Army men to dinner.
That's what I mean. Can we have a soldier for our Thanksgiving dinner, Uncle Mort?
Leroy, you sound like a cannibal.
Leroy, you mean can we invite a soldier to come to dinner?
Yes, and I think it's a splendid idea.
Oh, then we're going to have one?
Why, of course. When I think of all those boys, many of them so far away from home, it takes me back to the lonesome Thanksgiving I spent in an Army hospital back in 1918.
Gee, Unc, I never knew you were wounded.
Well, it's something I never talk about.
Oh, what happened to you, Uncle Mort?
I was kicked by a mule.
Where were you kicked, Uncle?
In the customary place. That mule kicked me so high they gave me a pilot's license. I spent 3 weeks in bed, flat on my stomach. In those days, I had a flat stomach. But remember, kiddies, never mention a word of this to anybody. It's still a painful subject. Even now, I twitch when I pass a mule.
Gee, Uncle Mort, where did this happen? In France?
No, Leroy, in Missouri. I was buying mules for the Army. Sort of talent scout for jackasses. Yeah. Well, anyway, I got 9,000 of them before one of them got me.
Say, I never knew you knew anything about mules.
Oh, yes, Leroy. I had quite an asinine education. Yeah, but that was a long time ago. Let's forget it, children.
Yes. Does that paper say how we go about inviting a soldier for dinner?
Inviting? Let me see. Oh, yes, here it is. Patriotic families who wish to share their Thanksgiving dinner with members of the Army are requested to be at Bacon Square, opposite the City Hall, before noon Thursday to pick up their dinner guests. The Army men will be bivouacked at the square.
What's bivouacked, Uncle?
A bivouac is a place where barking dogs are cooled off in pup tents. Yes, I got to remember that. Also that word.
Well, but it's very simple.
Huh?
Just one more for dinner Thursday.
Yeah.
You can drive down in the morning and pick up one of the boys, Uncle.
Gee, that's going to be keen.
We better ask Birdie if it's all right with her first, though. Birdie!
Yes, it's all right with me.
That woman's wasting her time as a cook. She could get a job as an airplane detector.
Say, I have a better idea. Let's have a real celebration. We'll get a couple of extra turkeys and invite 8 or 10 boys.
8 or 10? Won't that be too much trouble, Marjorie?
Oh, no. I'll ask some of my girlfriends to come over.
Girlfriends? Oh, by all means. That'll be jolly for the soldiers, too.
Oh, gee, Unc, the whole idea sounded great till you brought in the girls. Do we have to have girls?
Why not, Leroy?
Yes, what's wrong with them?
Jeepers, don't you think those soldiers are doing enough for their country as it is without wasting their day off with a bunch of silly girls?
And in conclusion, fellow citizens of Summerfield, let me urge you once more on the eve of Thanksgiving to open your hearts and your homes tomorrow to the soldiers visiting our fair city. Yep. Quit popping your bubble gum, Leroy, especially while I'm rehearsing my radio speech.
Oh, I'm sorry, Unc. I'm doing it unconscious.
Yes, I'm sure you are. Young man, if you keep playing with your gum that way, someday you're going to have a blowout. And remember, you haven't got a spare face.
Finish your talk, please, Uncle Mort.
Well, I don't need to rehearse it anymore, Marjorie. I know that speech backwards.
You do? Let's hear it. I bet it sounds even better backwards.
Yep. Leroy, you keep that up and you're going to get some applause backwards.
I think it's wonderful of you, Uncle Mort, to go on the air tonight and urge everyone to entertain the soldiers.
Well, people have always told me I should be on the radio. They say I sound just like that fellow who used to be with Fibber McGee and Molly.
Oh, that's probably some of the girls now.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, yeah. Cute, aren't they?
Uncle Mort, I want you to meet Betty Wilkins and Mildred Sherman.
Hello, Mr.
Gildersleeve.
How
What
are
lovely
you?
friends you have, Margie. You should invite them here oftener. Much oftener.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Not at all, my dear. I've always had an eye for redheads.
But Uncle Mort, last year she was a blonde.
I see. She's got a convertible top.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve,
Huh?
all of us girls think you're simply too tremendous starting these soldier parties.
Oh, he ain't so tremendous. It's that suit he's wearing.
Well, I like him just the way he is, especially that straight military bearing.
Yeah.
After all, he was an army man, you know.
He was?
Mhm.
What branch of the service were you in?
You flew, didn't you?
For a short time.
What kind of a plane did you use?
A plane? It's an old Jenny.
And you were wounded, too, weren't you?
Oh, dear. Whereabouts were you wounded, Major Gildersleeve? At the front?
No, it was in the...
Leroy.
I was just going to tell him it was in the middle of...
Leroy!
But, Unc, you told me yourself you were wounded right smack in the middle of Missouri.
Oh. Yes, that's right, in Jefferson City, Mo.
But even so, you were lucky to have recovered.
Yes. Everybody said I had a horseshoe in my hip pocket. I didn't get rid of it either till they operated.
Well, what were you doing in the
Army when you weren't flying, Major?
Well, I was sort of a recruiting officer. Yes, I brought more than 9,000 recruits into the field artillery alone. I got a kick out of it, too.
I imagine that must have been a lot of fun.
Fun? Well, only at the beginning, my dear. I got awfully tired in the end.
Say, Uncle, isn't it time for you to go to the radio station?
By George, you're right, Marjorie. Leroy, you want to come along?
Well, I'd like to, Unc, but I got a little surprise of my own for tomorrow. I'm going over to Piggy Banks' house.
Say, while you're there, Leroy, remind Piggy's sister Penny about coming tomorrow.
If you mean that Piggy Banks has a sister named Penny Banks?
Yes. She was named after her Aunt Penelope, who lived in Indiana. Auntie is one of the...
Don't tell me, Marjorie, I know. One of the Banks of the Wabash.
Lending me your bugle.
Oh, I don't know, Meatball. What you want with it?
I need it for Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Oh, you got the wrong instrument. On Thanksgiving, you play with drumsticks. Now beat it.
Oh, for corn's sake. Look, Pig, the reason I wanted it is because we're going to have a lot of soldiers for dinner.
So what? We're having our cousin Rockwell. He's a city alderman.
Oh, what's a measly old alderman? My uncle used to be a big shot in the Army. A major in the Missouri Mules.
What you mean?
Oh, that's what they called his outfit. Say, he recruited the toughest, meanest, fightingest outfit that ever come out of Missouri.
What kind of outfit was it?
Field artillery. You know, the cannoneers with hairy ears.
Do they really have hairy ears?
Oh, brother.
I still can't see that this got anything to do with borrowing my bugle.
Gee, you're dumb. I gotta make these soldiers feel at home so they can enjoy the turkey dinner. I'm going to blow mess call on your bugle.
Oh, I get you. That's a keen idea, Meatball.
Now will you lend it to me?
Sure.
Swell. Now, there's only one thing I got to do.
What's that?
I got to learn how to play a bugle.
My, those turkeys sure look good, Birdie. You don't happen to have a spare leg, do you?
No, sir, but I sure could use one with all the running around I got to do.
No, Birdie, I mean a spare turkey leg.
No, sir. I ain't going to subdivide none of them birds before the 0 hour.
Oh.
And when I serve them, they're going to be intact. A thing of beauty and a joy for about 2 minutes.
Yeah. How about some stuffing, then?
Nobody's going to do no stuffing nohow till everybody does.
Yes.
And that includes stuffing yourself with stuffed olives, too.
Oh, yeah. You talking to me?
Yes, sir. I've hardly got enough olives now to spell out welcome 32nd Regiment into mashed potatoes.
Huh?
You know, people have been coming to the door all morning asking for soldiers for dinner. Just because you went on the radio last night.
Yeah, but I told them to go down to Bacon Square. Jumping jeeps? What's that?
Oh, it sounded like it came from the living room.
Well, it can't be anything serious. Then again, maybe it can. I'll find out right away. Leroy! Joe. What are you doing?
Learn how to blow mess call, Unc.
Was that mess call? Sounded more like a moose call.
Boy, won't those soldiers be surprised when they hear me blowing the bugle?
Yeah, and won't you, too?
Oh, gee, give me a little time. All I need is practice.
Yeah?
I heard in school that Grace Moore practices 6 hours a day.
Yeah, a lot of good it does her. I bet she still can't play the bugle. Well, it's a sweet thought, Leroy, even if your music is sour. Oh, there's a doorbell. I'll get it, folks. Yeah?
Excuse me, please. Is this the gentleman who was speaking last night by the radio from Soldiers for Thanksgiving?
Yes, madam.
Well, permit me to introduce myself. Mrs. Shapiro, glad to meet you.
How do you do, Mrs. Shapiro? Glad to meet you. What can I do for you?
Well, I got right now in the oven a nice young kosher turkey, and I am wanting a soldier who is likewise.
Ew. I'm sorry, Mrs. Shapiro, but I haven't anything to do with these soldiers officially. You'll find them down at Bacon Square.
Please. If the soldier boy I'm looking for is at Bacon Square, then he's not the soldier boy I'm looking for. Goodbye.
Huh?
If you started downtown yet, you better get going. It's almost 12.
Oh, all right, just as soon as I get my coat and hat. And Leroy. Leroy, come on if you're going downtown with me.
Okay, Unc, here I come.
Oh, stop that for a little. Young man, what are you doing swimming around in my old Army uniform?
Gee, Unc, that's part of the surprise. How do I look?
You and the mothballs look fine.
Oh, girls, come in here and see Leroy.
Looks cute at that.
Look, he's got Uncle's uniform on, and it's all pinned up. Isn't it cute the way the breeches almost reach to the floor and back?
Oh, Major Gildersleeve, why don't you put it on?
Oh, I'm sorry, girls. But I couldn't get into that uniform if it were 3 times as big as it is now and I was twice as small as I am. Which would still be half again as large as the suit would be if it were double the size of what it is now, which it isn't, thank goodness, because if it was, I'd have to wear it, and I can't because it doesn't fit. Leroy, with all those girls coming over to our house this afternoon, I'm going to have to ask for about 12 soldiers instead of 8.
Oh, that'll be super, Unc.
Huh?
Say, look at all those tents. Gee, where are all the soldiers?
Oh, they must be inside.
Say, you don't think they've all been invited out already, do you?
Leroy, you get the most fantastic ideas. Hello, where is everybody? How do you knock on a pup tent?
There's nobody in here, Unc.
Oh, my goodness, nobody home. Leroy, get away from that cannon before it goes off and takes you with it. Why did we wait so long? If all these pup tents are empty, I'm certainly going to be in the doghouse.
Hey, Uncle Mort, here comes a soldier. Shall we invite him?
Yes, of course. Soldier?
Yeah?
How would you like to come over to my house for dinner now?
Well, I don't know.
We're going to have a...
Hey, wait a minute. You leave this boy alone. He's coming home to dinner with me.
Is that so? Don't you try to rustle my recruit. I saw him first.
Oh, no, you didn't. I saw him first.
You did not. I saw him at least 20 seconds before you did.
Mister, I saw this boy 20 years before you did. He's my son.
You...
Come on, boy. Mom's waiting.
Yeah, Mom's waiting. Oh, my goodness. Leroy, if I don't bring back a bevy of boys for that gang of girls, my goose will be cooked instead of my turkeys.
Hey, let's look in this big tent. Maybe somebody's here.
Huh?
Oh, hello, mister.
Hello.
This is the mess tent, Leroy. Hello, Sergeant. Leroy, this is the mess sergeant. Where can I find some of your boarders, Sergeant?
They's deserted me. And after I've been working my fingers to the bone over a hot stove all morning.
Oh.
You mean they've all been invited to homes already?
Everybody, including my dishwashers.
Oh, Leroy, we're sunk.
You're sunk? What about me? 50 gallons of the finest turkey a la king made from a special recipe created by Prudence Penny. 20 dozen dainty Parker House rolls that couldn't be topped by Parker House himself. And 32 mince pies made out of the tenderest part of the mince.
Yeah. Well, I can sympathize with you, Sergeant, but maybe you can help us.
How?
Well, it just so happens that we've gotten ourselves into something of a mess, Sergeant. We have 3 turkeys and almost a dozen beautiful girls at our house, just waiting to entertain some soldiers.
Yeah, you should see the cookies that are waiting for the rookies.
You'd have a wonderful time at our house, Sarge. How about taking off that apron and coming with us?
I'm sorry, sir, but I'm on duty.
Yeah?
Like the captain of a ship, everybody else can leave. But I gotta get down with me pot.
Gee, that's too bad. Come on, Unc.
Before you go, I got just one slight request I'd like to make. Would you please take a taste of my turkey a la king?
Well, I don't think
Oh, come on. Just one teensy-weensy little taste.
Well.
Just so I didn't labor all morning in vain. Here.
Conscientious, isn't he, Leroy? Well, thank you.
You have some, son?
Thank you, but it has spoiled my appetite for dinner. And I've been saving this appetite for a week.
How do you like it, mister?
Well, I think I'll have a little more.
Oh, no, Uncle Mort. Come on, we gotta dig up some soldiers.
You're right, Leroy. Are you sure you won't come with us, Sarge?
No, buddy. Duty is duty. And besides, the colonel would be sure to catch me if I sneaked out.
Oh, the colonel. I'll bet he's got a few soldiers up his sleeve. Where can I find him?
Way over there at the other end of the square, sitting in his tent.
Yes. Well, come on, Leroy. We'll lay our troubles in his lap.
Yes, I'm Colonel Atterbury. What can I do for you?
Colonel, my name is Gildersleeve.
Oh, yes, very unusual name. What can I do for you?
Colonel? I have a lovely big home, a wonderful cook, and a dozen of the sweetest girls in Summerfield.
What, no boys?
No. That's the trouble. No boys. We get all prepared to entertain 10 or 12 soldiers at dinner today, and when I come down to pick them up, what do I find? No soldiers. Not a single solitary rear rank, third assistant buck private.
Well, I'm sorry.
Sorry, he gargles. By George, this is a pretty pickle for our army to get itself caught over a barrel into.
Yeah, and after I've been practicing mess calls all day, too.
Yes, the poor little fellow almost blew his brains out.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Huh?
Gildersleeve. So I think I know you from someplace. Huh?
Yes?
Yes, I can't place your face, but your manners are awfully familiar.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. As soon as some of our men return, I'll send them out to your house. Huh?
That's just the old brush-off. I'm just stubborn enough to stay right
Stubborn?
here.
That's it. I've got it.
Huh?
Mules. That's where I know you from. You were stuck again, Gildersleeve. The officer who bought more bad mules than the whole artillery could shake a stick at.
Why, you... Don't pay any attention to the way he jokes, Leroy. Great kidders, these Army men. Well, Colonel, now that you recognize me, I hope you'll trot out some suitable recruits for us to take home.
Gildersleeve, I've got just the right detachment for you.
Wonderful. Who are they?
Some old friends of yours. A whole corral full of mules that just love to be your guests.
Come on, Leroy. Let's get out of here.
What am I laughing at? Donna, wish you'd invited me to go to dinner today.
Leroy, you better run along home now and tell the girls I'll bring back some soldiers if I have to call out the Marines.
Okay, Uncle, where are you going now?
I'm going to try the USO headquarters. And if you see any soldiers on the way home, grab them, even if they're wearing Civil War uniforms.
I'll do my best, Uncle Mort. See you when you get home.
Yeah, all right, Leroy. Look who's standing on the corner. Well, hello, Judge Hooker.
Hello, Gildersleeve.
What's wrong? You look as though you've lost your last friend. But, of course, I know that happened years ago.
Gildersleeve, I'll thank you to keep your nose out of my business.
I'll be only too glad to. What are you doing hanging around street corners?
Well, it's a long story.
Huh?
I happened to turn on the radio at home last night, and there was a fellow urging everyone to invite a soldier to dinner.
Oh, he did.
That speaker. There's a man. The way he told every citizen to do his duty by our new army was stirring and inspirational.
It was,
Yes. Why, the first thing I did this morning was phone the best restaurant in town and order the most expensive turkey dinner out to my house. I was going to invite a soldier to share it. That's the effect that speaker had on me.
Well, where is your soldier?
Well, that's where the trouble comes in. People at the USO headquarters tell me that there would have been plenty of them to go around if this radio speaker hadn't wrecked all their plans by urging everybody in town to come down after a soldier.
Oh, my goodness. So that was it. Of all the numbskull notions...
Not a word against that man, Gildersleeve.
Huh?
He made a wonderful impression on me. Clean-cut, vibrant personality. One of nature's noblemen, I should judge. Wish I could meet him someday.
Would you really want to?
Yes.
Well, then shake hands.
Oh, you'd like to meet him, too?
Good gracious, no, I am him.
What?
Yep.
You? Why, you hypocritical hippopotamus.
What?
No, that's wrong of me. I've misjudged you, Gildersleeve.
Well, I guess I've misjudged you too, Judge Hooker. I never thought you had a heart under that old thick hide of yours.
No?
No. I just thought your blood circulated because you brought it to a boil so often.
What are you doing roaming the streets on Thanksgiving afternoon, Gildy?
Yeah, same thing as you are, Hooker. Looking for some military men to fight their way through a couple of 20-pound turkeys.
Well, suppose we do our hunting together, Gildy, old pal.
Why not, old chum? After all, this is Thanksgiving Day, and we should treat each other like human beings for change.
Splendid. That goes for me, too. At least for today.
Yeah, well, come on. You work this side of the street, and I'll take the other side.
All right.
Oh, boy. Wait a moment.
What is it?
Look, here comes a young fellow in uniform now. And I saw him first.
Yes, that's so. Hey, son, come here.
Stop that, you double-crossing little botfly.
Young man, how'd you like a delicious turkey dinner?
Huh? Who, me?
Yes, he wants you to come up to my house.
I don't either. I'm in my house. I've got a great big turkey just for two of us.
We got 4 turkeys at our house, and we'll give you a whole one for yourself, son.
Well, gee whiz, I couldn't eat that much. And besides, I'm supposed to report to USO headquarters.
They're closed for the day, Corporal. Come on out to my house.
Oh, but I'm not a corporal.
Of course not, Sergeant. Now, my car's right over here. So if you'll excuse us, Judge...
No, come this way with me, Lieutenant.
You wouldn't like it at his place, Captain.
Oh, now, gentlemen, please, let go of me. Hey, you're tearing my uniform.
Let go of the Major's uniform. Let's trot along.
Okay, if you want to get indigestion. Now, my turkey is...
His turkey is as old as he is and just as tough.
Hey, I wish somebody would tell me what this is all about.
Don't let him confuse you, son. I'll take you to a movie after dinner.
A movie? We're going to have dancing at our house. You'll have 12 beautiful hostesses to dance with.
Oh, who wants to dance on a full stomach?
You do, don't you, son?
Well, gee, I don't know. I never learned.
No time like right after dinner. Come on, that's my car right over there.
Of all the low-down, backbiting, double-dyed, unscrupulous louses, I've had enough. Come back here, young man.
Who, me?
Yes, you. I'm going to start off entertaining you this afternoon by making this fat worm fold up like a road map. Here, hold my coat.
I'll be very glad to. No, I won't. Now, see here, Hooker. You point a pinky at me, and I'll beat the daylights out of you and then back in again.
Hey, gee, aren't you two fellas a little too old for this sort of thing?
If you keep out of this. Who invited you to... Say, I invited you. Come on, let's go home.
No, you don't, Gildersleeve. I'm going to knock you colder than an Eskimo mother-in-law's kiss.
Why, you old... Oh. What's the use of quarreling like this? If you've got your heart set on taking this young man home, Judge, I won't stand in your way.
Yeah, but haven't I anything to say?
No. Gildersleeve, do you mean this?
Yes, Judge. Go on, get your car. Hurry up now before I change my mind.
All right. You just wait right here, soldier. I'll be back in a jiffy, and then we'll have a wonderful dinner.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving, Gildy.
Gee whiz, mister. You got me all confused. Do I have to have dinner with that other gentleman?
With that old goat? Of course not.
Huh?
Wait till he turns the corner. All right, come on now. Run like anything.
But the judge went that way.
I know that. My car is this way. Hurry up, boy.
Huh?
Oh, at last. There they are now. Come on, girls. Let's go to the front door. Come on. Birdie, get things ready. Leroy, there's your cue.
Yeah, well. Here we are at last. Step right in, son, and meet everybody.
Gee, thanks.
Girls, this is Jerry Arnold, Private Jerry Arnold of the United States Army.
Oh, no, sir.
Oh, you're not a private?
Oh, no, sir. I'm not even in the Army.
What? You're not?
Why, no, sir. I'm a Boy Scout.
Oh!
The great Gildersleeve will be with us again in a few minutes. But right now, whether you celebrate Thanksgiving next Thursday or the week after, there's one thing that's the same everywhere. Yes, that turkey's going to taste mighty good with all its trimmings and fixings. And we all want to remember that we Americans still have plenty to be thankful for. And another thing that's certain, if you make your Thanksgiving cakes and pastries and cookies with Parquet margarine, you're going to get plenty of compliments on their downright good taste. You see, the delicious flavor that makes Parquet margarine so popular for table use makes it wonderful for baking, too. Yes, as sure as Parquet is a delicious spread, it's a genuine flavor shortening, too, not a bland, tasteless fat. Parquet adds flavor to pan-fried foods, too, and it doesn't spatter or stick to the pan. So serve Parquet margarine at the table, use it for baking and pan-frying, too. Remember, you can use all you want, because Parquet margarine is economical and good for your family. Yes, Parquet margarine is a wholesome, nourishing energy food and a reliable source of vitamin A. So right now, add Parquet margarine to your shopping list. Remember, it's Parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y.
Sorry, our time's up. Happy Thanksgiving, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
Original music heard on this program was composed and conducted by William Randolph. This is Jim Bannon speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company and inviting you to be with us again next week at this same time for the further adventures of the great Gildersleeve. This is the National Broadcasting Company.